So this from a report from FDA. What is AR? What is VR? AR is augmented reality. It's a little bit more than you see with your own eyes, whereas virtual reality is something that completely replaces your own vision. So an AR device might overlay things into the real world that you also see through the goggles. Virtual reality completely replaces it. So for example, FDA says that an AR system that overlays medical images onto a patient during an operation to help guide the surgeon, that would be an AR medical device. A VR system that's used to treat post-traumatic stress disorder in Army veterans would be a VR device because it's probably going to take over the entire range of vision and show a synthetic world. A VR rehabilitation therapy that simulates real-life situations to improve physical functions for patients who have experienced a physical disability associated with a stroke or other medical condition. That's another example of a VR solution. And if these sound like pipe dreams, they're really not. I was actually rather impressed at how many are out there and the domains that they're in. We won't cover all of them, but FDA talks about these areas of interest. These are places where they're seeing a lot of use for AR and VR. Pediatric diagnostics and treatments, pain management, mental health, neurological disorders, surgery planning, intraoperative procedures, ophthalmic diagnostics, telemedicine, virtual care, and post-operative and other rehabilitation therapies. Now, they're clear that they think that there are some benefits to AR, VR. They also think that there are some drawbacks, and this is worth noting if you're thinking about being in this area. Probable benefits that they note is giving better access to healthcare. If you can do some of it remotely, great. Improve healthcare professionals' ability to prepare for certain treatments because you can role play a surgery or some other situation. Fulfill unmet medical needs, mitigate preoperative anxiety, maybe take people again to role play through a situation as a patient that they're about to be in. Make procedures less invasive. I think that's a practice thing again. Accelerate diagnoses and allow for self-directed care. That all sounds great, but here are the risks that FDA has identified. Cyber sickness. If you've ever been in a VR headset, you know that depending on how well that app is programmed, it could make you pretty nauseous pretty quick. The weight of the headset can create head and neck strain. There are also cybersecurity risks, like any device, privacy risks, and distraction in the operating room. Well, that's for sure. I don't really want my surgeon's hand slipping just because their headset lagged. They focus also specifically on pediatric populations. They worry about worsening disparities in diagnostics and treatment. They also worry about unknown side effects and/or risks, particularly in vulnerable populations. But all that being said, it remains that they're starting to clear some of these devices. Here's one called the Knee Plus, and it is indeed an augmented surgical reality device. Wearing a headset, the surgeon is able to see information displayed on their heads-up display while they are performing the surgery. This isn't science fiction. This is actually cleared to the market. Knee Plus from the company Pixie Medical. And also this, CureSight. If that looks like a 1980s era red-blue 3D glasses, you're right. This one is meant for amblyopia or lazy eye. So it's something that the user, pediatrics in many cases, are able to use to actually treat lazy eye, and it's a 3D app. That's just two of the examples that we've seen from FDA. Again, there's 37 others. If you scan that QR code right there, you can get to all of them and research them. But these are generally in the areas of augmented reality for surgery, virtual reality for training, games for therapy, and so forth. So it's really cool to see these making it out to the market. It's going to be really fun to watch as this part of the market develops.